Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please.
Of course. My name is... My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I am the head waiter at a Western-style restaurant called La Carnival. Carnival. It's a carnival. It's... Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some, It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me.
Well, it really should. As everyone knows, the capital's southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants, an Occidental eatery 3 days ago.
Understood. Hosonaga-san, you will kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident. At once, sir.
And no petty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please.
Oh, perspiring maybe, but aspiring? It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have a few diners at the time of day. The lunch rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied. That fits in with my memory of it at least. Or a memory of it too. There was hardly anyone else in that place. It was when I was in the kitchen, put away crockery and cutlery. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried to the dining area to see what had happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair. And standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student.
Yes!
Hold on! Let me just clarify something here. Well, I did pick up the gun that I found lying on the floor beside the professor. I didn't shoot him!
Objection!
Oh my god, this boy! Oh god.
I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness's report of what he saw, you amateur.
But... The next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you will be penalized, or penalized, as some people would say, this defendant Naruhodo. Don't worry, Ryunosuke. You'll have your chance to fight back. For now, you must just quietly listen to the witness.
If I may confirm one point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see here in court today.
Yes, without question.
I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim?
No. There was no one else around the table but the deceased Englishman and a university student. Huh? Wait, what did he just say? There was no one else around that table. What's the matter, Ryunosuke? That's just not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello, there was a woman sitting opposite him at the table. Really? And that's not something the waiter could have missed. I've been warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do? Wait and see? I desperately want to say something, but I was told not to interject. Ryunosuke, if your parents tell you to study, you're the kind of man who would diligently get to work, aren't you? I suppose I am. I've never gotten to Yume University otherwise. you can't just always follow the rules in life, you know. If you don't say what you want to say right now, you'll seriously regret it when you're found guilty. Alright, you've scared me. I won't forget that piece of advice in a hurry. And there is something I want to say. I'm just gonna shut my eyes and say it.
Yes!
Just a moment, please! Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table.
Objection!
Dear me, dear me. What are we gonna do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all?
But I'm sure of what I saw. Hosonaga-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy. No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it. I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Please, have a look if you'd like. Let me see. Ah, a sketch of the establishment's layout drawn by yourself, I presume? That's right. I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. That doesn't really say much at all. Well, you're clearly a very conscientious waiter. Yeah. Thank you, sir. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well, is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. Oh god. Are you gonna be okay? Okay, he's just gonna keep on coughing. Something clearly seems to have shake him up. We got the business card.
So, the court has now heard precise of the case. Or precis of the case.
Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant. The only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It would seem we are looking at a black and white case here. Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you.
In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. I called this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. But I must warn the defense, if you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial, the prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime.
What do you think I should do, Kazuma? What do you mean? Well, I'm gonna be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual, about these peculiarities. You've said it, Professor Mikotoba said it, and so is the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust back in my face? Is that it? What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove the innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just gonna abandon that duty? Are you gonna give up on yourself? That is some hardcore guilt tripping, although it is necessary in this situation. The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryunosuke. Whoa! The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Then we'll see just how decisive this evidence really is. Indeed. Prosecutor Algie, please continue with proceedings.
Well, you were warned. The young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be. In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. The prosecution calls its next witnesses.
Very well. Officer, bring forth the witnesses at once.
Witnesses, kindly state your name and occupations for the court.
Yes, sir! The Great Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant! Oh god. Iese Nosa, reporting for duty, sir! Is that how I say the name, sir? I'm so sorry if I'm messing up any of these Japanese names.
Myself, I find employed as a purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from the efflorescence,
What is with these new words?
of our nation, Nippon, and conduct my trade from Rasite, a humble premises in the 2nd District. Kyuryu Korekuta at your service.
An antique dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pairing.
Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question.
They must be diners at the other tables that the waiter mentioned.
Myself, I habitually take tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question, always post-noon. And not infrequently, converse with interested parties regarding to the curios with which I make my business.
I can't understand a word that the old man is saying. I'm more surprised that I was able to say any of that. He's an antique dealer, and it sounds like he's a regular at La Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets La Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele. Right, I see. Although, to be honest, that sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer.
Now, you both witnessed the precise moment of this most atrocious incident. Is that correct?
Affirmative! The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir. It was that black uniformed rogue infantry man over there who unloaded his firearm, sir! This man's as impossible to understand as the other. But I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. So, is the decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening? The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment he shot the victim dead. Yeah. Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start. Now, the court will hear your formal testimony, please. The defendant will hear your formal testimony. We're gonna ignore that bit. You will state everything you saw at the precise moment that the incident occurred. Sir, yes, sir! Standing by to report, sir! Unsavory memories of a most acerbic afternoon. Words are Sure. But we get our first witness testimony. I was ingesting a regulation, what? I was ingesting a regulation beef steak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man.
Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman.
At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel.
I was on my hands and knees investigating the whereabouts of my mysterious, absconded precious curio.
Well, so you, Sergeant Nosa, actually witnessed the vital moment. You saw the split second when the defendant fired the weapon at the victim. Yes, sir! Affirmative, sir! That wicked university cadet, sir! The cruel and unforgivable enemy!
What times we live in, when an English gentleman may be assailed in the broad light of day.
But this is ridiculous! I didn't shoot anyone! Is that really true, Ryunosuke? Yes! All I did was pick up the gun that I saw lying on the floor! You really shouldn't do that, by the way. If you're ever in this situation, you don't touch anything at all. After I said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Then, when I'd finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant when I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it. So I bent down, and just as I was picking it up, well, if that's the truth, there was obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. And somewhere in these two witnesses' testimonies, there's a clue as to who that criminal was. There is? Ryunosuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witnesses. Cross-examine? Do it now!
As we have heard, Your Excellency, there is no room for doubt in the testimonies of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. It is time to bring this despicable student to justice.
Certainly. The testimony to the court has just heard eliminate any vestige of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict of this trial. I love how he just kind of raises his hand like a student. What in the name of the Empire is the meaning of this outburst? Emperor, not Empire. They both start with E, okay? Don't sue me. I mean, the defense demands its right to a cross-examination.
Dear me, dear me. Let me guess. The Hachimaki headband boy next door told me to do it. How pathetic. That was quite a lot of words that didn't make sense right there.
Huh? How do you know?
The prosecution objects. This is clearly a waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How could he possibly carry out a cross-examination?
Objection!
The defense is asserting its right to a cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant. Kazuma is so commanding. Very well. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witnesses. Alright, this is where the battle really begins, Ryunosuke. But I don't even know what I have to do in the cross-examination. Isn't it obvious? You just have to expose the lies in the witnesses' statements. How? You didn't fire the gun, which means what that soldier said has to be a lie. Well, yes, but It's just a case of proving it. And the key to doing that is evidence. Right. Evidence. All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the witness is lying. Now let's go, Ryunosuke. Don't let them beat you. Alright then. It's all or nothing. With my little noodly hands, I will prove their lies wrong. I love Naruto. He's so good. Alright. Oh, look at this cross-examination transition. Oh my god. Okay. So, this is the whole bit with Ace Attorney. You go through trials, you have witnesses, and you kind of have to go through the details after talking with, after hearing their statements to kind of get your way towards the truth. On the upper right, you see our little stars. That's actually our little Ace Attorney badge. And every time we get something wrong or inconclusive, they go away. If we get all of them wrong, the judge will cut the proceedings and we're guilty. So, even though I have played this game before, I literally don't remember anything at all. I only know some very small details, or key details, not key details. So, one thing that actually struck to me, we have to, it won't let us proceed onwards, it's a little dumb. He said that the firearm was discharged with his own eyes, fired on the English civilian and from the back. But, what I did see from the court record, in this case, in order to see the court record, you would want to hit R. You can hit L to actually get more details from it. Actually, we can go ahead and do that. So let me go press this, good sir.
Yes!
So this black uniform university cadet, you're saying that was... Ugh! I've had just about enough of your sauce, cadet! Who else do you see around here in a black uniform, Well, there's someone standing right next to me who fits the description as well, but... It was you, you little weasel! You unloaded the firearm on that man! From behind his back! And you call yourself a civilian of the great empire of Nippon! You disgust me! What is it, Ryunosuke? He get his face? I'm not quite sure. It's something that the sergeant just said, but I can't put my finger on it. Something's playing on my mind. In that case, check back over the details of the evidence you gathered in the court record. And if you find an inconsistency there with what the witness just said, then don't hold back. Present the evidence to the court. Thrust it in the witness's face and make him choke on it. Wow. Wait, is that a badge? Was I don't know what's going on, man. But yeah, this first case is all about a lot of testing and stuff, so if you don't know how to play the game or you're not sure about things, feel free to mess around with it. So yeah, I don't want to talk to you, and I can't move backwards because you have to see the text the first time before you can actually skip through it like this. Alright, so yeah, he's saying that we shot him from the back. However, actually, I'm not sure which one. Technically, both of these are right. Technically, both of these are right, because this one actually shows a picture that the victim was shot in the front, but this one doesn't actually show whether or not it went through his body, because it could have exited from the body. This is a little, not TMI, fourth wall breaking, but when you shoot a gun at close range, like very close range, you actually do have this, like dusty stuff around it. That's the gunpowder mark. The word is escaping me right now, but yeah, that's the entry point of the bullet. So this one's more accurate, saying that you shot it on the chest and it did not pass through the body. We're presenting
Yes!
What are you playing at, cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination? Stop saying this water paper's in my mustache. Oh, he wasn't actually kidding. Inconsistency, sir. I mean, yes. There's a clear inconsistency here.
What nonsense! What can this document possibly tell us that we don't already know?
Well, obviously, that, I knew what I want to say, but the words just won't come out of my mouth.
I think this proves beyond any doubt, Your Excellency, that there is no place for an amateur student here in this grand courtroom. I am making him sound a lot more asinine and more like a witch.
Ugh, this is so frustrating. Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. It can be more plain. To spell it out would be an insult to the court. Kazuma, what?
What are you talking about?
It's apparent from a single glance at the post-mortem report presented by the defense. There is a clear discrepancy here within the sergeant's statement.
What?
Sergeant Iesanosa. Yes, sir! What, sir? The statement that you just made was this. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Yes, sir! Affirmative, sir! I witnessed the crime with my own military-graded eyes, sir!
Yes!
But no! That just can't be!
And why not, cadet?
Because... As is clearly stated in the post-mortem report, fatal hemorrhaging from pectoral ballistic trauma. Ballistic! That's what I wanted to say! Ballistic marks! No exit wound. Bullet did not pass through the body. The photographic print of the victim clearly shows the same thing. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And that is the obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it? What was that? Something just popped up from behind its back, but he pushed it down again. Certainly, there is a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Nosa? Yes, sir. At this juncture, that would appear to be indisputable. Until the moment I heard the firearm discharge, my eyes were... Look at the baby. Firmly fixed on the delicious carnival steak, sir!
What?
The last testimony the court has heard has proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness, Sergeant Iesanosa, did not see the defendant firing a gun at all.
Ugh! That's absurd!
I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in the grand courtroom. There's been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial, just from that one discrepancy. So this is what being an ace attorney is all about. But I definitely saw him. That university cadet there, he was pointing the firearm directly at the victim's back.
Yes!
But I never fired the gun. All I did was pick it up off the floor. And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot either.
Myself, I have already been quite clear. The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor.
Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing?
Hunting for treasure.
Treasure?
Indeed! The Hoi era Koban, my prize coin! On each occasion when I visit the restaurant, it is my habit to place my bosom pocket a particular trinket of interest from my shop, Ryunosuke.
In hope of meeting a rich diner who might like to buy it from you.
On the day under scrutiny, it was to the military man that I proffered my Hoi treasure. Believed that he would purchase such a rare find, I did not. But I was presented with little alternative. And then, after averting my eyes for the briefest of moments, it was no more. It simply vanished. The Koban vanished. Hunting around the under the table I was, in case mayhap it had fallen there, and then it happened.
You heard the gunshot, you mean?
Indeed I did, but he did not, for I was concerned only with finding my my Hoi treasure. Nothing could distract me.
Out of interest, did you find the coin in the end?
No.
I see.
That lamentable day, the precious Hoi Koban was lost to me. No doubt some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prize coin for himself.
As I'm sure everyone present is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to the Great Britain by telegraph this afternoon. Nevertheless, the witness testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive. No matter how subservient our government feels it must be to the British. It would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict on this trial right now. What is your position, Professor Alchi?
Worry not, Your Excellency. The defendant may have fled a tiger at the front gate, but he would find a wolf at the back. My witnesses have further testimony to make.
Explain.
Upon hearing their next statements, it will become abundantly clear that there is only one person who could have possibly committed this despicable crime. The equally despicable defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
What? He really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he? Very well. The court invites the witnesses to testify again. You will thoroughly explain the reason behind the prosecution's allegation. Is that clear?
As clear as Kiriko glass, Your Excellency.
Yes, sir! At once, sir! Awaiting signal to testify, sir! Excuse me, but there's something or someone peeking out over your shoulder, I think. Affirmative! The newest member of the Nosa family to rise up through the ranks, sir! Name, Ido. It would seem that those straps are a sign of the sergeant being too strapped to afford a nanny. Ido, tension! Your father's about to quell the enemy! Watch and learn, my boy! Look at that little pinwheel. Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing.
Yes, pointing his gun at the foreign man he was, that young lad in black. That much I myself did see.
Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present.
Indeed. Alone he was, the Englishman, dining all by himself.
Therefore, no one other than the black uniformed cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. Over and out. These testimonies are clearly Wait, that's nonsense. The victim, Dr. Wilson, wasn't alone at all.
Please, enough of these outbursts already.
But there was a woman. There was a young woman at the table. You must have seen her. Everyone there must have seen her.
Objection!
If you call yourself a lawyer, then you will respect the rules of the court and speak accordingly. We are not here to listen to your fantasies. It is evident beyond all reasonable doubt that the victim was alone at the time of the incident. The prosecution has photographic evidence of this fact.
Is this a photographic print of the scene of the crime, counsel?
Indeed, of the table at which the victim was dining, taken by an investigator immediately after the incident. As he can plainly be seen, there is only one place set.
Certainly, based on the appearance of this print, it would be reasonable to conclude that the victim was not in the company of anyone else.
This doesn't make any sense.
The court will add this new photographic evidence to the record. I don't understand. What's going on here? It's just not possible that nobody else saw that woman. The waiter before us said the same thing. He maintains that Dr. Wilson came to the restaurant alone as well. But that's not true! I saw her! I swear that I saw a woman with him! It would seem that we'll be able to telegraph the report to the Great Britain on time after all. The witnesses' testimonies we have just heard leave no further room for doubt.
These are very sensitive political times, as we know. The ink is still fresh on the treaty with Great Britain. To think that Taketsuchi Ochi would have contributed to the amity of these two great empires is an honor.
How can this be happening? The judge is ready to rule. Stand tall, Ryunosuke. It's not over yet. What? If what you say is true, then there's something going on here behind the scenes. And now is your chance to expose it, to draw out the truth in your cross-examination. I don't know, Kazuma. The defense is entitled to cross-examine the witnesses, but make it quick. Understand? Understood?
Rules can be so unbending at times.
Oh my god. Alright, so we have the cross-examination here, but I'm actually gonna cut this part short. So, thank you guys for watching, thank you guys for coming. I love the voice that I'm giving Algie, but oh man, does it great on my poor throat. Please, if you're gonna do voices, make sure you're prepared and make sure you don't strain yourself. Whatever you do, do not hurt yourself. Like, why am I stopping in front of the sergeant with this cute little baby? Look at him and his little chubby cheeks and a little blush and a little sleepy eyes. Okay, I'm done. Alright. So, thank you guys for watching, thank you guys for coming. This is Zora, Yurasaki signing out. I will see you guys in the next one.